Hello. Today, Stephen Messier and myself, Nathan Greenwood, will be presenting a case analysis on DataGuard Solutions Incorporated. So, there's an immediate decision that needs to be made by DGS. A new client relations manager position has opened up at the company, and they must decide who to hire. However, the decision made could have impactful consequences on DGS. So, the company has to take into account its underlying issues for determining the right individual for the new position. We will now discuss the underlying issues that DGS encounters. Employee turnover has been a major problem for the rapidly growing tech company. Employee turnover at DGS decreases company efficiency, leads to constant resets to employee-client relations, and creates the possibility of confidential company data being leaked to competing companies. Employee turnover is also very costly, as it is estimated that the cost of losing an employee can range from 25 to 200% of that employee's salary. These setbacks could be detrimental to a new tech startup company, so DGS must make it a priority to mitigate the turnover rate. Certain factors contribute to the sub-average industry retention rate at DGS. Firstly, there's a surplus of IT jobs, making it easy for employees to switch between companies. Another issue that has been voiced by former DGS employees is that there's an unengaging social environment at work and in the St. David's area. There are no work events or social activities, which create a serious tone in the work environment where employees stated it is not fun to work at the company. This work environment lowers job satisfaction and could urge employees to seek other companies. Also, the DGS staff is very diverse, and some employees had trouble settling into the St. David's area as they did not feel included due to lack of racial diversity in the community. After reviewing the immediate decision and underlying issues the company faces, we must now look at the alternatives DGS has. There are two main alternatives to the immediate decision of hiring someone. Alternative one is to hire Ellie Jensen. Ellie was the first hire and a well-trusted employee. She's experienced and can be relied on. The CEO of DGS has stated that Ellie's performance at work has never disappointed. Also, her trustful personality and transparency would be very beneficial in a client relations role, gaining the trust of the company's clients. She's also experienced across multiple departments in her company, where she is responsible for payroll, client billing, and relations with external legal and accounting professionals, making her a veteran in the operations at DGS. She also is in communication with virtually all the DGS staff and clients, making her well connected. On top of that, she has also taken an additional course in Introduction to Data Analytics to gain further understanding of DGS and to expand her role at the company. Moving on to alternative two, Jamal Ali. Jamal has a strong educational background, having an engineering degree and his master's in management analytics. He has also completed a BMO leadership program, which he has used to acquire DGS clients. Jamal is a young talent with high potential. He's only been at the company for 1 year, but his robust work ethic has impressed many individuals in his department. So now, after taking a brief look into the candidate's strengths, it is clear that both candidates are qualified to fill the new manager role. However, there are some important factors to consider to help identify the appropriate individual for the job. DGS is seeking an employee with strong job embeddedness to control the company's retention issue. When looking at Jamal, his job embeddedness tool score is significantly higher than Ellie's. This high JET score means that Jamal is at high risk of leaving the company. However, the creator of the JET tool said that it is not a perfect system as it has only been used on small sample size. So, other factors must be taken into account. After digging further into Jamal's background, he has minimal ties to DGS or St. David. He is in a long-distance relationship where he commutes every weekend to see his partner. And the couple is indecisive on their future plans after his partner graduates from university. He has also worked at the company for just over a year, so he does not have a large attachment to DGS, and most employees that leave the company leave after being employed for about a year. Ellie, on the other hand, scored very low on the JET score, which is no surprise. She has robust ties to the DGS and St. David's community. She has settled into St. David's, where she is married with a family. Her oldest child, who is diagnosed with autism, was placed into a specialized behavioral program in St. David, which is very difficult to get into. Since these specialized behavior to get into, this is a large influence on Ellie's commitment to St. David. She was also the first hire at DGS, where she's been a main contributor in the company's growth and success, which strengthens her commitment to the company. Ellie demonstrates strong job embeddedness, which is strongly correlated to higher retention rates. Now I'll pass it over to Stephen.
Thank you, Nathan. After analyzing DGS's current situation and the immediate underlying issues, we've come up with the following recommendations. So for the immediate decision, we recommend hiring Ellie. As Nathan said, she has been at the company longer, she's more experienced, she's well-liked and good in customer relations, and this sets a precedent at DGS for promotion decisions that are based on the employee's tenure at the company, which will incentivize younger employees to remain at the company in search of that promotion. Now, for the underlying issues, first of all, we recommend implementing hiring and training policies that DGS right now is missing essential information in the hiring policy. When we look at the case of Fred Malone, a DGS employee who was found to have ties to right-wing neo-Nazi groups. This, of course, does not promote diversity or multiculturalism and should have been identified from the start. Second, costs are too high with regard to training policies. With the focus on external training policy, DGS is putting way too much money into training employees and not receiving enough return. Second, address company culture, because employees barely interact both in work, outside of work. This is not making employees feel tied to the company and is incentivizing turnover. And then lastly, expand on the JET. Its biggest flaw right now is the lack of sample size. So increasing its accuracy by increasing sample size will help DGS make more informed decisions in the future. DGS must also consider internal factors of turnover, which are not addressed with the job embeddedness tool. On to the actual action plan to implement these recommendations. So step one, design career development plans for willing employees so as to establish what the company will need to provide in terms of resources and accommodations. From there, DGS can create a comprehensive training program, which must include mandatory diversity training in-house. And then with regards to the external training, focus needs to be placed on needs assessment and learning objectives, budget, timeline, and measuring effectiveness, all with the goal of decreasing costs and seeing a higher rate of return on investment. Step two, implement more thorough hiring policies. In the hiring process, management needs to better consider company fit and conduct background checks so as to ensure that not only do they meet the job qualifications, but also they fit in the company and will socialize with employees. Include multiculturalism criteria, such as the 4/5 rule, which means that no group can be less than 4/5 of the predominant group in the workplace. And lastly, this must all comply with Ontario human rights regulations because we do not want the company discriminating on the basis of race, gender, or religion, etc. Third step of the action plan is to shift company culture with the goal of increasing job satisfaction and creating stronger ties to the company. This will be done through a combination of organizing social events and promoting employee interactions in the workplace. With regards to social events, these can be both planned, such as company retreats, or unplanned, such as inviting coworkers out to drinks at the end of the workday. Within the workplace, management should be including more group projects so as to force socialization amongst employees. And lastly, management needs to include job description index surveys into their policy making. The JDI surveys address job satisfaction, which is excluded in the JET. And then secondly, expand on the sample size of the JET. This can be done through leasing the software to other companies. The larger the sample size, greater accuracy, with the goal of increasing sample size by 200% and precision by 35% within the next 4 years. Factors that either benefit or hinder this action plan, management's commitment to diversity and the diverse workforce will enforce the multicultural atmosphere that the company wants to promote, the ambitious and talented employees, as well as the leading edge work that is both interesting and engaging, make for a very structurally sound company. Now, potential challenges are the location, which lacks culturalism and activities, while also providing fewer job opportunities for employee spouses. And then the second challenge is the saturation of the IT sector. Many companies are performing interesting work in more attractive locations such as Toronto. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We'd be happy to take any questions you might have.